What unlocks the next XRP bull market was supposed to propel us last year into a super cycle during our last bull run. That didn't happen. And we've had over 12 months of downward price action, of suffering, not just for XRP, but for the broader crypto market. But in today's video, we outline, while acknowledging it's frustrating, our timeline's been extended, these unlocks that come for XRP start up the next bull run. And those high prices for XRP that we were hoping to see last year, right? Are they out of the picture now? Are they not possible? I think that we're going to make a case for them absolutely being possible and for us absolutely being on our way to those prices. The timeline is the only thing that's frustrating, and we will navigate the last part of this bear market together. And I'm going to get you guys dialed in here for what unlocks this next bull run, in the bull run that we're going to take advantage of for life-changing gains, for building out generational wealth. This is what we're here for. So get tapped in with us. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification bell. Let's do that. $13 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab is joining the party, calling for the U.S. Senate to pass the Clarity Act. Charles Schwab, Fidelity, the Fraternal Order of Police. We have law enforcement coming forward. We have asset managers, the largest in the world, coming forward. Now, everybody coming forward to say, let's get this done. It's bipartisan. Shouldn't be political. We need America. It's a matter of national security. We've got to get it done. John Deaton, I think, says what a lot of us are feeling right now, which is we're actually disappointed in the Clarity Act in not allowing for us to earn interest or yield on our idle stablecoins, right? John says, I think it's outrageous and un-American that customers can't receive interest related to their holdings of crypto tokens or stablecoins. I call it un-American because it protects banks. When there's disruption of an industry, that industry has the opportunity to adapt and integrate with the new technology or become irrelevant and die. That's the whole idea of American capitalism. Our government shouldn't pick the winners from the losers, period. I agree 100%. He says, if I was in the Senate, I would have fought like hell against the banks. But if they have enough senators in their pockets, as they currently do, it doesn't mean I wouldn't vote for clarity because I didn't get everything I wanted. To the Democrats, Trump has already made $1.4 billion in crypto. I hate it. Hell, when Dick Cheney awarded Halliburton a multi-billion-dollar contract for the Iraq war while still on Halliburton's payroll, I thought that violated ethics. So I don't like it either. But with or without clarity, Trump will likely make another billion or more. Trump and his family are heavily invested in defense companies. Are we going to suspend all funding with defense contractors because Trump or his family may benefit from it? Of course not. Why would we treat crypto any different? Why punish tens of millions of Americans because of one man? I only ask that you love America more than you hate Donald Trump. I couldn't agree more, John. Well said. And I hope that he does get brought into office there in the Senate, running there in the great state of Massachusetts. John Deaton, representing the XRP family, representing people in the link to bankruptcy. We appreciate his service, working pro bono in both cases. And then his fight, taking it to the Senate, and Ed Markey. John, go get him, man. Go get him, brother. Hoorah. God bless, and thank you for your service, John. A Marine veteran. I think that he echoes what we all agree about, and I want to make this point. This is why we tie this back into the video here today. What I'm about to show you guys next with XRP DeFi is when you learn how to engage in this DeFi activity, it's all going to be in compliances. We now have the text of the Clarity Act, and a lot of the protections for DeFi are actually there. And it'll be clear when something is a security and you need to register with the SEC, then that's what you'll need to do. But with the text, with the rulemaking process, this is happening regardless. The XRP ecosystem doesn't wait for Clarity Act to pass in the United States of America. The XRP ledger is made up of validators and community members around the world. And so this is happening with or without the Clarity Act. Let's be very clear about that. And the point that I want to make is that with the Clarity Act, you won't be able to earn, yield on your idle stablecoins. This is where learning how to be a liquidity provider, learning how to participate in the on-chain credit market that's coming to the XRP ledger, will be your path to earning passive income on your XRP, on your RLUSD, on your other digital assets. And that's what I'm so excited about here, folks. Vet, one of our validators here on the XRP Ledger, he's also now contributing to the XRP Ledger Foundation too, which I love. Never has there been a better time to build on the XRP Ledger with XLS 66 lending protocol. Why? Hundreds of millions of XRP are looking to be put to use and waiting for products to do so. Evernorth alone has 473 million XRP for this. It's a major unlock for capital on XRP and an opportunity for builders. Now, I want to be clear that VED is being very conservative and is grossly understating how much XRP is waiting to be deployed for yield opportunities. It is not just hundreds of millions. It is, in fact, billions. I would argue tens of billions of XRP that is waiting to be deployed for these opportunities. Ripple wants to do it themselves. Ripple Prime and all their clients. Ripple Treasury and all of their clients, right? When you have just idle dollars sitting around in your treasury, right? That's the whole play here for Ripple Treasury, is you're going to be able to roll that over to RLUSD, start earning yield in your company balance sheet, right? This is the advantage. And Ripple's going to be offering this to all of their clients, part of their custody clients, their treasury clients, all of their clients that are working with them on payments. They are all going to be provided the opportunity, along with all of us and everybody else that decides to show up on the XRP Ledger. And now is going to be better than ever before to be building on the XRP Ledger and investing in the XRP ecosystem. By the end of 2026, we will have a full DeFi ecosystem and programmability stack on the XRP Ledger. Our builders will be set free and will have the full ability to monetize their products and services. Follow this account for full coverage of these developments, and you should follow me on X, and you definitely should be subscribed if you haven't already here on YouTube as well, because we're going to keep you guys up to date. Nobody else is talking about this. Nobody else is going to be as prepared for this opportunity as we are. I just got off a call this morning with my Discord group talking about this, about how much money we made off of the first XRP DeFi wave, which really was spurred upon by the meme coin launchpad first ledger right there in October, November 2024, which started a whole wave of activity on the XRP ledger. And you might be saying to yourself, well, I don't want to trade meme coins. You don't have to. I'm not suggesting you trade meme coins. What I'm talking about is being in the ecosystem, embedded in these communities, and ready to conduct due diligence on all these yield opportunities on XRP credit markets. This is the big unlock. Now, tying this all back together, before I show you guys my slideshow presentation, I talked about how the suits would be selling it with slideshow presentations. The suits are. And I am too, wearing my champion t-shirt that I think I paid $10 for. We're going to be presenting a slideshow presentation here in just 1 minute. The point being, the XRP bull run fell short. I was wrong. Everybody was wrong about how high XRP was going to go. And we also thought that the Clarity Act could pass last year. Didn't happen. And we also thought all of these amendments that I'm about to show you for the XRP Ledger, we actually thought a lot of these were going to go live last year as well too. So there's two things that change everything for this next XRP bull run and unlock this next XRP bull run, which are things that should have happened during the last bull run in 2025. They should have propelled us into a super cycle, but that is in the past. We're not living in the past anymore. We're looking ahead. You're looking ahead. That's why you're still tuning in to this show during a bear market. That's why you're still hitting the thumbs up for me, max engaging and hyping it up and sharing it out far and wide. Because you recognize that what didn't take place last year is about to take place this year. And it's the unlock for the next bull run. And we're going to make a boatload of money, by the way. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now we have 8 amendments that we're going to break down here in this slideshow for you guys here today. Let's go through it quickly. So first one's batch XLS 56. This allows the bundling of up to 8 transactions into one atomic action. So this will allow for smoother DeFi, NFTs, and gaming user interface. Confidential transfers. This is zero knowledge proof privacy on the XRP ledger. Encrypts multipurpose token balances and amounts with zero knowledge proofs. Issuance stays auditable. Regulators keep view key access. The important thing to note here is that all of this DeFi, all of this programmability allows for institutions to use it in a compliant way. You don't get institutions to use these ledgers at scale or at all if they can't do so while complying with all of the rules and regulations. And so that's critical. All of our amendments allow for that and actually put a focus on that. The next one here, XLS 68, sponsored fees and reserves. This would allow a platform to cover a user's fees and reserves for them. Removes the XRP pre-funding barrier for onboarding new users. A $1, well, XRP trading right above $1 right now, and the minimum to open up an XRP wallet is 1 XRP. So you got a $1 cost to onboard a user. Doesn't sound like much, but for a platform that wants to onboard 10,000 people, right, they now will have the ability to cover that. And there's a conversation about lowering the reserves to make that even easier and cheaper. But either way, whether they end up lowering the reserves or we just get this amendment, I think that the solution is to pass this amendment, see how well it works to onboard users, right? Because the platforms can say, okay, we have to pay $1 to onboard this client, but we're going to make it on the back end, right? It's the same thing with all these platforms that are offering all these incentives and rewards for RLUSD and XRP right now. Right? They're trying to bring you to their platform. Well, in the same way, the sponsored fees and reserves would allow a platform to basically pay the onboarding fee of opening the XRP wallet for a user. And so it removes that pre-funding barrier for onboarding new people. And this is how we onboard. We just crossed, I think, 8 million XRP wallets. Most of us have a few. I have over like half a dozen. So we really only have a few million people here holding XRP. For us to onboard tens of millions of people, we need that to get easier. This amendment's absolutely critical for this. And all of this together, this whole thing puts together our full programmability stack and really builds out the ecosystem. So back to the slideshow here. Permission delegation. This grants specific account permissions without giving up full control. Role-based access, a middle ground between multi-sig and full custody. It's XLS 75. This one's going to be brought up for voting here shortly. Dynamic multi-purpose token. This is huge. Let's tokens carry mutable fields, updatable after launch. Multi-purpose tokens shipped fully immutable. This unlocks evolving token terms, so you can adjust the terms and the structure of your token. It's a multi-purpose token, right? And this is, now this makes it a dynamic multi-purpose token where you can start to change that. Now, what's a good use case for this? Think of a stock, right? That gives you voting rights, that gives you all the permissions and rights of a traditional stock holding would. You can now put this on chain with multi-purpose token and dynamic multi-purpose token at that. So this amendment adds to multi-purpose token. And once again, all of this allows for tokenization to now scale up on the XRP ledger. Think stocks, private equity, think of real estate, think of bonds, think of gold, silver. The tokenization is set to explode on the XRP ledger, and this adds more programmability to that. Bundled fix is already past the 80% vote. This actually goes live in a few days. And this bundled fix is a maintenance patch, not a new feature, but it fixes multi-purpose token validation, permission domains index, offer deletion bugs. And so that's going to be big. And then single asset vault and lending are going to be the next two. And these, I think, are probably the biggest. Single asset vault is XLS 65. It's a pooled container for one asset, XRP, RLUSD, or any other token on the XRP ledger. It tracks depositor shares via multipurpose tokens, the base layer for lending and yield. So these two amendments are really a pair. The lending protocol and the single asset vault go together. For you to be able to lend or borrow, right, we need to have the vault for you to deploy the asset into. So you deploy it into the single asset vault, and we pair that up with XLS 66, the lending protocol. This allows for fixed-term, uncollateralized loans built on top of vaults. On-chain credit, off-chain underwriting. This is built for institutions. Currently, we're at 37% voting on lending and 40% voting on single asset vault. So we're about halfway there. We still need another, I think, 14 votes or so. And you can go to XRP Scan and go to the amendments and see the voting process for yourself. But in summary, guys, this is so late. We were late on NFTs. We were late on AMM. We're late on lending protocol. We're late on everything on the XRP ledger. But although it's a short-term disadvantage, we're bringing this programmability without smart contracts that get hacked. We're bringing this programmability without wearing out our ledger and adding a bunch of bloat. The XRP ledger stays lean and mean, and now we're bolting on this programmability in a way that doesn't slow down the ledger, in a way that's going to be secure. And most importantly, if you want to get institutions to use these same programmability features on the XRP ledger, if we want them to build on XRP and issue assets on the XRP ledger, we have to have all of this in a way that allows them to comply with regulators. And that's exactly what is top of mind with all of these amendments, is security, compliance, right? And then we let our builders cook to make it easy to use. They're going to build out apps. They're going to build out user interfaces. And I am so excited to be at the front of this, embedded in the XRP family. We know all of the XRP developers. There's going to be new ones coming, right? And they're going to be reaching out to me. We're going to bring them on the platform. I've always said, if you're building real utility on the XRP ledger, come on the show. Absolutely free. We got a slot for you because we want to shine the spotlight on anybody building utility on the XRP ledger. And I'm very excited for this moment. We finish up the bear market. It's going to be bad for the next few months between now and midterms. Not ignoring that. We're leaning into that as an opportunity to dollar cost average, taking advantage of that. And then the setup is Clarity Act and the XRP DeFi ecosystem, two catalysts to propel XRP into a supercycle. They didn't happen last year. But are they set up to unlock the next bull run? 1,000%. Do 1,000% returns await you? It gets interesting here. I'll let you guys fill that ROI, the price targets. I'll let you guys fill all that in the comments down below. What I'm providing you guys right here, though, is my thesis on why there's absolutely a reason to be excited about the XRP ecosystem and the next XRP bull run getting unlocked. And it's why we're excited to be buying at these levels. Despite the pain and misery of the past 12 months, it gets better, and it gets a lot better, especially when you can lean in and buy at these prices, get those entries, and ride this back up into the next bull run cycle, which I think carries us into 2029. So if you haven't already, please make sure that you have liked this video if you appreciate the content, subscribe and hit that notification bell. All of our community resources are available at zachrector.com. And if you want to get tapped in with our private community, you sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. You can go check out the weekly call that we just did this morning. And we do it every single Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You have full access to me as well, too. So we'd love to have you in the community. And I appreciate you guys, whether you're using our community resources down below. We have our sponsor, I Trust Capital. We have the XRP family merch. And we also have that like button that you can smash for me, too. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend. God bless you all.